Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, the honorable supervisors and examiners for this opportunity. So first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Titania Anggriani. So I'm the presenter for this presentation today. So the title of my research is the improvement of students' grammar ability by using Duolingo application at 10th grade SMA Negeri 2 Karimun in the academic year 2021 until 2022. So we move to the contents. So there are 3 chapters. The first is chapter 1, introduction. There are background of the study, the problem of the research, significance of the study, the limitation of the study, and the last definition of key term. So we move to the chapter 2, review of related theory. So there are definition of grammar and overview of Duolingo. And we move to the chapter 3, research method. There are research design, research setting, research subject, research procedure, and research instrument. All right, we move to the chapter 1, introduction. Background of the study. Grammar is the system of language. People sometimes describe grammar as the rules of a language, but in fact, no language has rules. If we use the word rules, we suggest that somebody create the rules first and then spoke the language, like a new game. But languages didn't start like that. Languages start by people making sounds which evolve into words, phrases, and sentences. No commonly spoken language is fixed. All languages change over time. What we call grammar is simply a reflection of language at a particular time. So according to Effendi et al. 2017, grammar is an important element of a language. Mastering the grammar of language will affect the mastery of language skills. Therefore, in studying language formally, grammar is a subject that should be studied in depth. The students need to be given adequate provision of grammar so that they have good language skills. At this time, the use of grammar is very important in the use of foreign language, especially English. However, nowadays, not many people pay attention to grammar. They talk a lot while using the wrong grammar. Whereas if we use the wrong grammar, then the meaning of the sentence we convey is also wrong. One of the reasons why this happens is the lack of ability to understand grammar. Students who learn English at school have a lot of problems in using grammar. Language teachers and observers are very aggressively looking for solutions to grammar problems. From traditional methods and to technology-based methods, it has been mobilized to improve students' grammar skills, one of which is the Duolingo application. So we move to the problem of the research. So the research problem is how could the 10th grade students' grammar ability in SMA Negeri 2 Karimun can be improved by using Duolingo application. Next, to significance of the study. There are 2 contributions. The first is theoretical and the second is empirical. So we will discuss the first theoretical contribution. So the result of the study will be as the data information about English education that related of strategy of improving students' grammar ability. And empirical contribution. So first, for the students can improve their grammar ability using Duolingo application. For the teachers, the result of this study can be useful information for teachers when doing teaching activity and also as a reference to improve students' grammar ability. The third, for the researcher himself. After the researcher finished, the researcher expects to get more information, and the researcher can help to improve the student's grammar ability. And the last, for other researchers. The study can be a reference for the next study in case other researchers want to make further research to improving students' grammar ability. Next, we move to the limitation of the study. This study will be limited to improve students' grammar ability. The 10th grade students of SMA Negeri 2 Karimun in the academic year 2021 until 2022. We move to definition of key term. To evade misconceptions, clarification, and several key terms need establishing. They are as follows. First, grammar. Grammar is study of the rules governing the use of language. And the second, Duolingo application refers to a strategy that helps students to improve their grammar ability. Next, we move to the chapter 2, review of related theory. So, definition of grammar. Grammar is rules of language governing the sounds, words, sentences, and other elements, as well as their combination and interpretation. The word grammar also denotes the study of these abstract features or a book presenting these rules. In restricted sense, the term refers only to the study of sentence and word structure, syntax, and morphology, including vocabulary and pronunciation. According to Effendi et al. 2017, grammar is an important element of a language. Mastering the grammar of language will affect the mastery of language skills. Therefore, in studying language formally, grammar is a subject that should be studied in depth. The students need to be given adequate provision of grammar so that they have good language skills. Next, we move to an overview of Duolingo. The role of information technology has been growing rapidly in the field of education. As this change progresses, there is an increasing demand for studies in learning theory and relationship between the use of computer devices. Mobile technologies such as tablets, laptop computers, and smartphones enable learning in and out of the traditional classroom setting, bridging the gap between formal and informal learning. Online researchers have brought almost universal access to learning, allowing autonomous learning on a global scale. Mesela, 2015, mobile learning is really helped the learner to study wherever they want. Learner can use mobile phones, tablet, computer, media player, or other portable device that can be used in any time and anywhere. It is useful media that can help everyone to learn language because it can be used informally and spontaneously in every occasion. Actually, there are so many language learning media in the 27 world, and Duolingo is one of them. According to Metala 2015, Duolingo was created by Louis von and Severin Hacker, launched for general public in 2012, and it has no price or a gamified subscription fees. The company wishes that the product will remain free to use for everybody. It is a gamified language learning application or software for your personal computers and smartphones and tablets with Android and iOS operating system. Next, we move to the research. We move to the chapter 3, research method. All right. The first, research design. The research design in the study is action research, or we know that CAR. Action research is a process in which educators examine their own practice systematically and carefully using the techniques of research. Casina 2013. So the function of this research is to using Duolingo application to improving students' grammar ability in SMA Negeri 2 Karimun. Next, research setting. This research will be taken from the 10th grade student of SMA Negeri 2 Karimun in academic year 2021 until 2022. Jalan Raja Usman, Sungai Lakam, Bukit Bestari Karimun, Kabupaten Karimun at April 2021. Research subject. The researchers involved students of the 10th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Tanjung Pinang as the population of the research. There were 4 classes that researcher taught. Class Science 6 was the subject of this research. It has 30 students. Next, research procedure. This research cannot be finished in one cycle, but with some cycle until improvement target is achieved. There are 4 phases that researcher did in one cycle, which is planning, action, observation, and reflection. So we move to the first, planning. Planning is developing a plan of action that is critical to improving what has happened. I do the initial observation of the classroom situation in the context of the general school situation. From here, I get a general picture of the problem at hand, done together with collaborators or research partners to observe the learning process in class, with attention paid to teacher behavior related to efforts to help students learn and students' behavior when the learning process takes place, especially learning grammar. The result of initial observation of the processes that occur in the desired situation, required outlined in the form of complete field, not clearly described footage or an episode of the learning process in the situation which was upgraded or improved. Then the field notes examined together to see the problems that exist there and what aspects need to be improved to solve problems that occur in the learning process teaching. Let's move to the second action. The actions carried out consistently and controlled. First, I asked the student to install Duolingo in their phone and asked students to play Duolingo from the first skill until the last skill for a month, and made a club in Duolingo and WhatsApp group to remind students and see their progress. That after that, I give my student post test to know the result. The third, observe. Observation need to be planned and also based on the openness of views and tools and are responsive. After the students learn from Duolingo application and do the post test, I will observe the students' obstacle when they're using this application, whether it can provide an improving or not. And the last, reflect. Reflection is remembering and contemplating an action exactly like that has been noted in observation. Reflection tries to understand the process, problem, and real obstacles in strategic action. Reflection is usually aided by discussion among researchers and collaborators. Through discussion, reflection provides the basis for the improvement plan. Reflection or contemplation is an activity of analysis, interpretation, and explanation of all information obtained from observation of implementation action. The research design in this study is collaborative classroom action research. The researcher's role in the classroom as the teacher and teaching the students by using Duolingo application. Meanwhile, the real teacher herself as the observer watching the teacher and learning activity during the research process. The real teacher also helped the researcher designing a lesson plan, giving assessment, and analyzing data. And the last, research instrument. The research needed the data to know the result of the study, and the researcher needed instruments to collect the data. In this research, a researcher used tasks in the Duolingo application and posted as the instrument. All right, I think that's all for my presentation today. Thank you for this opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.